Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here, the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube channel and platform. And it is another Tuesday, and I'm here delighted to be able to spend these 1,800 seconds with you guys. And hopefully I get a chance to chit chat about something that is inspirational, something that's motivational, something that challenges us to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. That's what we talk about. We talk about things that are inspirational, things that are motivational, and things that challenge us to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations, because I am just persuaded that life gives us all of these opportunities to present our character in the best light and to make sure that our integrity is always in check and to make sure that we respond in such a way that it reflects us and we are not embarrassed later on by how we reacted and how we responded in a moment. So for me, I always try to make sure that I respond in a way that is true to my character. I make sure I try to respond in a way that's true to me being an integral person. So I know the same thing is true for us, but it's something that we sometimes have to work on. Let's be honest. We sometimes have to work on it because life will present so many things until all of a sudden you've responded and you think, did I respond in such a way that I won't be embarrassed 5 weeks from now or 5 years from now, or make sure that my children won't be embarrassed or my family won't be embarrassed, that sort of thing. So, we like the inspiration, we like the motivation, but I think it's sometimes that the pieces that challenge us, we don't always like. But can I tell you that what makes me the best version of myself is that when I'm challenged, when I'm challenged to think outside of the box, when I'm challenged to change my behavior, when I'm challenged to check my responses. So how about that? How many times have you been challenged to change how you behave and challenged to check your responses? We may talk about that. That's what we do here because we all want to be better. We want to go to this place in this space that's called better. And I often say that better doesn't have to happen a year from now. Better happens as soon as you say, this is not as good as it gets. Today I was thinking, and I really will get to the conversation at hand, but you all, earlier today I was just thinking, I wonder how many people often say, I'm the best version of me now that I will ever be. Have you ever heard people say that? Do you know people who think that I am the best version of me now that I will ever be? For me, there's a little fallacy in that statement because I hope that I am the best version of me that I have ever been. But I hope I am not the best version of me that I will ever be, because that means that I will live, God willing, for these next days and weeks and months and years. And if I think that I'm the best version of me now that I will ever be, what's going to happen in the next 20, 30, 40 years? Does that mean I'll never strive to be better? I'm the best communicator now that I will ever be. I'm the best son now that I will ever be. I'm the best cousin. I'm the best friend. I'm the best whatever that I will ever be. Absolutely not. Because if that is the case, you just will stop living today. If you are the best version of you now that you will ever be, you just as well stop breathing. Your heart should just stop today. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not, trying to wish anybody any demise, but think about it. For someone who has that mindset, oh no, this is the best I'm ever going to be, and I'm the best. No, 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 no. Hopefully it is the best that you have ever been because you have grown and you have dealt with the dynamics and all of those things of life, the transitions, the dynamics, the changes, and the vicissitudes of life. It is my hope that we've all dealt with that. And by dealing with that, we've dealt with the problems, we've dealt with the challenges, we've dealt with the struggles, and we've gotten stronger and we've gotten better. And so who I stand up and show up as now is one of the best versions of me that there ever has been. I can say that. I can say that unabashedly, unashamedly. I can say that with the strongest conviction. Who you see me today, this version of Cutler is the best version of me that there has ever been. But can I tell you, it is not the best version of me that there'll ever be. It is my goal, like I said, it is my goal at some point to become a better friend, to become a better communicator, to become a better relative, to become a better mentor, to become a better, whatever the case may be, a better protege. I'm telling you. So I was just wondering how many people think that they are this is the end all be all. It is not. It is not. Cutler, just back up because you took off and you took off at 10. So just go back and just say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. And thank you all for joining me. We're going to chit chat more of these 1800 seconds, but I'm just delighted. And I really had a strong conviction about making sure that we understand that this is not as good as it gets. And don't let anybody tell you that this is the best version of you that they will ever see. This is not the best version of you that they will ever see, because the truth of the matter is, when they see me tomorrow, I want them to see a better me tomorrow than they saw me today. I want to make sure that when I respond and when I think 5 years from now, that I'm not responding and thinking 5 years from now like I did today. I want there to have been some growth. I want there to have been some stretches, some expansion, some change somehow, some way. All right. So thank you all. Thank you all. So that's what you get when you chit chat with me for these 1800 seconds. You get inspiration, motivation, and you get challenges. I want to challenge us to become better. I really, really do. And as I'm challenging you all, I want you all to challenge me, and I want us to all challenge ourselves. Let me shout out the LTTC VIPs, and thank those of you who are joining with me, who have been with me for a while. And I just want to chit chat and shout out those who are in the chat first that I saw on this end. That's Andy Cutler, Paula D, and Marissa. I see the rest of you, and I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you so much. So if this is your first time, do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe. Once you subscribe, click on that notification bell. I don't know if it's down there, up there, over there, over there. I don't know where it is on your device, but click on the notification bell because it lets you know whenever I've gone live. These glasses are dirty. It lets you know whenever I've gone live and or uploaded new content. Let's chit chat. Remember last week when we were here, I wanted to start the conversation about how to be a better friend, but it turned into how to become a better communicator. And you all really directed me into that conversation because we were talking about the things that you say and how do you say it and how do you hear and how do you adjust what you hear and how do you consider the impact that your words may have on other people. And I thought it was a great conversation. So I just went right along with the flow and moved along with that conversation. But I wanted to come back this evening, this week, and talk about really how to become a better friend. I told you all I want to engage in this series about how to become a better fill in the blank. Because so many times we talk about becoming better, and it's based on this book that I wrote, Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation Along the Highway of Life. The goal is not to just be a stagnant person, but the goal is to be a dynamic person. The goal is to become a better person, better at how you think, better at how you behave, better at how you embrace ideas, better at how you espouse ideologies, better at so many different things, how you interact with people. So I thought, it is important for me. One of the greatest things that will have ever been said about me, it's not all of my accolades, it's not all of my accomplishments, it's not the houses I've lived in, the cars that I've driven, the degrees that I've earned, how much money I've made. That's not what's most important to me. What's most important to me, in addition to my service to God, what is most important to me is the fact that I was a friend. And I want that to manifest in so many ways. As a son, I want to be a friend. As a brother, I want to be a friend. As an uncle, as a nephew, as a cousin, as just a colleague, I want to be a friend. That is the greatest thing that will have ever been said about me. And it is my goal as I move along life every day to become an even better friend. So I wanted to talk about how to become a better friend. And I think at least in a part of our conversations last week, one of the things that I said we could do is to make sure that we listen to what people say and how they say it. You know, it's often been said, well, we've heard and quoted Dr. Maya Angelou so many times, when people show you who they are, believe them. Well, when you say things to people, you're telling people who you are. When you say things to people, you're telling people who you are. When you say things to people a certain way, how you say it, when you say it, your timing, you are showing people who you are. And one of the things that I think a premise of our conversation last week was make sure that you be good to yourself and make sure that you require others to be good to you and learn to let others be good to you. Listen to what people say. So as you're talking, people are listening to what you say. When they're talking to you, listen to what they say. And you have to ask yourself, all right, what am I going to do? And I'm not going to get stuck just on the communication piece only. But for me, it really is important as a friend. It is important to me to make sure that I don't respond too quickly when my friends are talking to me. I need to make sure that I listen to what they have to say. When my friends are talking, I have to make sure that I repeat what they say so that they are aware that I'm listening. I need to make sure that as a friend that I reach out to them, that I message them often, that I reach out to them however they have set the stage for receiving communication. I need to make sure that I sometimes mirror their behavior so I can say, this is what I see when I see you. I need to make sure that I accommodate the way that they want me to communicate with them. This is just the way that I see myself as becoming a better friend. I make sure that I check in on them and I ask about them. I ask them, how are they doing? I make sure that I don't always talk about myself, but I intentional, and I have intentionality about asking them about their families. How are you doing? How's your family doing? And I ask them about their situation. And I just think that these are good ways of making sure that you can become a better friend. I make sure that I don't necessarily disrespect them when I'm talking to them. I make sure that I don't raise my voice unless I'm just excited. I make sure that I don't yell and shout and holler at them. I make sure that I don't dismiss them when I'm talking to them. I make sure that I don't dismiss them when I'm listening to them, that I hear them and I repeat, and I make sure that they know that I hear them. I make sure that they know that I see them. I make sure that they know that I acknowledge them. I make sure that I initiate contact when I don't hear from them. I don't wait for my friends to call me just because if I haven't heard from them, I don't wait for them to call me and say, I'm just going to see how long it takes him to call me. I'm just going to see how long it takes her to call me. No, I don't do that, but I don't mind initiating contact. That's just a part of what I do as a friend. I make sure that when I call them, when I contact them, it is not because I want something. It is not because I need something, but as a friend, really my want and need is to make sure I want them to be okay. I need them to be okay. And I need to know that they're okay. So that is a part of my conviction in terms of trying to be a better friend. I make sure that I don't drain them when I call them, because I have friends on all levels. And when I say levels, I mean with all kinds of gifts and talents and resources and what have you. And so I make sure that when I contact my friends, it's not always because I need something. It's not because I want something. It's not because I'm trying to deplete them or drain them of their gifts and their talents and resources. But sometimes I just want to pour into them and offer them strength sometimes when they're weak. I want to help them. I want to encourage them. I make sure that I listen to them. I make sure that they understand that I love them. I'm just talking about how we can be a better friend, you all, because sometimes we take our friends for granted. Have you ever been in a situation and you watch people that acknowledge the strangers? They watch people who are just right on the perimeters, and they deal with those. They deal with people who have just been in their lives for not so long, but they sometimes can seem to take their friends for granted because they are friends who've been around for a while. Let's make sure we don't do that. Let's make sure that we don't take our friends for granted. You want to be a better friend, don't take your existing friends for granted. Make sure they understand that you appreciate them being a part of your life. Make sure of that, because we all need just a little more love. We all need a little more kindness, and we don't always ask for that. So don't wait for your friends to ask for it. Give it. Give it to the people who are in your space, the people who are in your village, the people who are in your circle, the people who are in your community, whatever your community looks like. Show kindness, show love, show patience. And that, I think, helps us to become a better friend, because think about it. I think we all want, in our heart of hearts, if you are a true friend, I think we always want to be a better friend. And so that's one of the ways that we can do. Just see how you can help. And one of the ways that you can help is just give a little more kindness, give a little more love. And then what about the encouraging people? Sometimes people are going through, I've said this time and time again within the past few weeks, there are people who are going through storms and going through challenges and going through struggles, but they show up and they don't tell a soul. And when you ask them how are they doing, they will say all is well, or they will say I'm good, I'm fine, everything is fine. And they say that from a place of maturity, and they say that from a place of sometimes guarding their emotions and guarding their experiences and guarding what they're going through. And so they will say all is well, I'm okay, I'm fine. And so I challenge us, if you want to be a better friend, ask yourself, how can I encourage someone today? How can I encourage my friends today? And it doesn't matter how you do it. One of my first cousins for the past few weeks has sent me just a wonderful quote every morning. I have another cousin who's like a sister to me, and she would do the same thing. Those things, those acts are very encouraging. And you have to ask yourself, how can I encourage somebody today? Can I share this quote? Can I share a positive thought? Can I give someone a call? Can I send someone a card? Can I let them know that they've made a difference in my life? Can I say to someone, you look nice? Can I say to someone, you smell good? Can I say to someone, I appreciate the job that you did. It has helped my life by fill in the blank. Learn to be nice. Learn to encourage people. Sometimes we can say things in our language and our vocabulary can be so unwholesome. That's just a nice way of me saying our language and our vocabulary can be so nasty. It can be so degrading. But can I tell you, don't let unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only let that which is helpful and upbuilding to others, let it come out of your mouth. Let people who hear you be benefited by what you have to say. Let people who hear you be benefited by how you say what you say. Let people who hear you be benefited by your intentionality of where, when, why, and how you say what it is that you need to say. So not only can you be a better friend by helping people, not only can you be a better friend by encouraging people, but you can be a better friend simply by doing what, Cutler? Listening to people. Spend more time listening to what people have to say. When you are in a conversation, why not practice asking questions rather than giving statements and giving your opinions? Make it a deliberate effort to ask questions. It might seem weird at first, it might seem strange at first, but that is your way of engaging in the conversation in such a way, asking questions so that they answer and they know that you are engaged in the conversation. Who knows? You might find something new. You might find out something new about somebody that you've known for 10, 15 to 20 years if you just ask questions. Learn to listen to people. This past weekend, I was with 5 generations of my family. And while I enjoyed every single generation, can I tell you, I think the ones that I enjoyed the most, and they don't mind, the other 4 generations don't mind me saying this, I think the generation that I enjoyed the most is probably the 5th generation. Those were the little babies who just had so much to say. And that when they saw their tall cousin, they just think I'm just a big play toy anyway. But I had so much fun listening to them. Why? Because it encouraged them. They enjoyed having someone to listen to them. So if you have young people or little people in your life, let them tell you about their day. Ask them, what did you do today? What made today special? And if you have grandparents, talk to them, have a conversation with them, ask them what was life like when you were my age. Just engage people and have conversations and listen. Take a few extra moments to strike up a small conversation with people. It doesn't matter how brief your interaction with them might be. It might be a teller at the bank. It might be a cashier at the grocery store. It might be a clerk at the post office, but does it hurt us to just take a brief moment to strike a quick conversation and to acknowledge people and let them know, I see you. T. Cutler, you're right. It's nice to be nice. Kimberly, yes, I treat people the way I would like to be treated because I have known some struggle. I'm with you. I know what it feels like to not be acknowledged. I know what it feels like to be mishandled. I know what it feels like to be disrespected. And because I know what it feels like, I don't want to put that pain, that shame, that challenge, that emotional stress. I don't want to put that on anybody else because it didn't feel good when I went through it. And so if something that you went through didn't feel good to you, why would you put it on somebody else? Why not be intentional about uplifting people and making sure that they don't feel the emotional and psychological struggles that you felt when you felt mishandled and disrespected and dismissed? And can I tell you another way to be a better friend? I hope I'm helping somebody this evening. I really do. Another way you can be a better friend is just not by listening. It's just not by encouraging. It's not just by helping, but you can be a better friend to people by loving them. We don't like to use that word because it sounds so mushy. But it is so true. I had to speak at a church a few weeks ago, and I remember one of the preachers got up and she said, love is an action word. It is a verb. I know Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? And she referred to it as a noun, as a thing. But what makes it so powerful is when it is enacted, when it is put into action. Because listening and encouraging and helping, all of those take action. And can I tell you this, that the feeling of love is a byproduct of taking action. What do you mean, Cutler? Really? Yeah. How about saying hello to somebody that you don't know? How about that? That doesn't cost you anything. Just say hello, say hi to somebody that you don't know. You don't have to look away. How many times have we gotten in the elevator? And as soon as you walk in the elevator, everybody does what? Look at the floor, look at the walls. It doesn't hurt anybody to say hello. But we've been conditioned not to speak to people that we don't know, particularly when they're in the close spaces with us. And if we're talking about being a better friend, make sure that your friends know that you love them. One of my friends just reached out through social media today and reminded those of us in the same circle that tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. And for the people in your life that you love, you make good and sure that they know that you love them. It does not hurt. It does not cost. It does not reflect negatively on you at all to make sure that people know that you love them. When you see them, it's okay to shake their hands. It's okay to squeeze their elbows. It's okay to make a phone call or to send an encouraging text message. It's okay to meet people for lunch. It's okay to surprise somebody by doing something nice and unexpected for them. It's okay to invite somebody out to dinner, to invite somebody to a movie, to invite somebody to church. It's okay to do that. It's okay to leave a thank you note for a janitor. It's okay to leave a thank you note in the mailbox for the person who delivers your mail. It's okay to do all of those things. Make sure the people in your life that you love know that you love them. Because when they're gone, there are no do-overs. There are no do-overs. You don't get to hug them anymore. You don't get to hold their hand anymore. You don't get to do any of that anymore. Make sure that the people you love know that you love them. We're talking about how to be a better friend, how to be a better fill in the blank. Make sure that the people you care about know that you care about them. And many times they see it in your actions. But can I tell you how powerful it is to hear you say it? I know a lot of times, particularly in my culture, we say, well, the men don't always say that they love you, and because they provide, they do this, and they're macho and they provide. But can I tell you how empowering it is? Can I tell you how empowering it is for a young boy to hear a father or an uncle or a mentor say, son, nephew, I love you. Marissa, I had not heard from my friend that I usually hear from daily, so I sent a message asking her how she was doing, and she was okay. She responded telling me what had happened. Wonderful, just to reach out to people, Just the ability to reach out to people. Exactly. You never know what someone is going through. It doesn't take much to uplift someone or maybe make them. Kimberly, you're absolutely right. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost anything. A very good friend of mine who recently buried his mother in Florida, one of the things that I learned from him, he said, you know what, Cutler, one of the things that I've learned is that if I see something nice, I don't mind saying something nice about it. In other words, he was telling me it's okay to give people compliments. And he said, you can give people compliments without trying to hit on them, without trying to flirt with them. And I remember I would try to sometimes strike up a conversation. I would ask people, because I was born in the South and I still have some of my Southern mannerisms. And so whenever I go into a restaurant, I would look at the server. If the server had a tag, I would refer to the server by his or her name. Or if I didn't see a tag, I would ask him, what is your name? And that way, if I needed something, I could always call that person by name without saying, excuse me, hey, you, that sort of thing. And one of my friends said, well, when we go into restaurants, why is it that you always try to call people by names? I mean, because, in certain settings, that could look like you're just trying to flirt with people. No. And I said, maybe in certain settings, it looks like you are trying to flirt with people, because for me, it's a matter of trying to engage people in that moment and making sure that they matter and making sure that I don't demean people. Because a lot of times I've seen, Cutler, don't go off on this tangent, but a lot of times I've seen folk walk into a service industry, and when they have someone serving or hosting or waiting on them, they get this grandiose mentality and this grandiose and superiority complex to the point that they think that they can talk down to people. No, absolutely not. You don't get the privilege of talking down to people. Cutler, don't just go off and get upset. No. But we don't get the privilege of talking to people. Everybody deserves courtesy. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody deserves diplomacy. So we don't have the right to talk down to people. You want to be you want to be a better. I'm just talking about a better friend, but you want to be a better friend, a better person. Just learn to be respectful of others. I think one of my favorite passages, the disciples asked the Lord, what is the greatest commandment? And he said, well, it's just to love the Lord with all your heart and your mind and your soul. And then right afterwards, he said, and the next one is similar to it. It's like it. Love your neighbors as yourself. I'm so thankful that we've spent this 1,800 seconds together, and this really comes from my heart. I want us to learn to be better friends. I want us to learn to listen to people. I want us to learn to love people. I want us to learn to respect people. I want us to learn to acknowledge people. I want us to learn to make sure that we tell people that they matter. Why? Because they really do. And it is the same way as one of you just said. How many times did we have experiences where people sometimes wanted to make us feel like we didn't matter? So what is the challenge, Cutler? Because you said that sometimes you want to inspire us, and I got to get out of here, y'all. You said sometimes you want to challenge us, sometimes you want to motivate us, sometimes you want to inspire us, sometimes you want to motivate, and other times you want to challenge. What is the challenge, Cutler? Here is the challenge, y'all. Hear me clearly. Be a good listener. That's a challenge, because sometimes we like to talk more than we listen. Be present. When you spend time with people, make sure, and you're in that moment, give them your full attention. One of the things that my mother so dislikes is when people are in her space and they're engaged in conversation, that they take up their phones or they take up their iPads and they're just trying to have dual conversations rather than giving you full attention. I challenge you to be present, be in the moment. So not only do I challenge you to be a good listener, not only do I challenge you to be present, fully present in the moment, but I challenge you to be supportive. Learn how to celebrate your friends' achievements. Learn how to celebrate the victories of those people in your life. And not only that, but I challenge you. Some people have a problem with this, y'all. Don't hang up on me. Don't leave. Just stick with me for just one more minute if you don't mind. But I challenge us to be honest. There's some people who are compulsive liars and they just lie all the time. But I challenge us to be honest, consistently honest. Communicate Communicate openly and honestly with your friends and your relatives and your family members. I challenge us. Some people have problems with that, but I challenge us. I challenge us to be reliable. When you say you're going to do something, do it for goodness sakes. Do it for goodness sakes and your sakes and the sakes of your friends. Be reliable. Build trust with your friends by being reliable. You want to be a better friend? Learn how to be appreciative. Show your friends that you appreciate them and their friendship. Cutler, really, all this before you go offline? Yes, absolutely. Just a couple more. And here I challenge us not to judge. Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Avoid thinking or speaking negatively about your friends. How are you going to call me your friend, but you speak judgmentally about me every time you're behind my back? Don't do that. Avoid thinking or speaking negatively and being judgmental, especially when you share, if I share sensitive information with you. And then I have to go after this, and y'all. I challenge us to make time. Don't wait to call. Don't wait to hang out. Make time, because it is true. We make time for the things and the people who are important. So when your friends ask you to do something and you constantly say no, then you're telling me what you think of me. When people show you, believe them. When they tell you, believe them. When they demonstrate, believe them. So I challenge us, be good listeners, be present, be supportive, be honest, be reliable, be appreciative. Don't judge, and make time. Make time for people who matter. All right, I want to thank you all. Thank you all for giving me these extra seconds. I just wanted to get that out tonight because I want to challenge us to be better friends. Listen, if you know somebody who needs to hear this, make sure that you go and tell them, come on and listen to Cutler. Come on, let's talk to Cutler. He's really offering stuff that will help save somebody's life. Thank you all for allowing me to come into whatever space you've allowed me to come in. And thank you for these extra moments that you've given me this evening. Please know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Make sure you have a great evening. Until the next time we talk, goodbye.